Welcome to Weather and Climate Chat. I am your host, Monsoon Mike, and joining me remotely, as these are far different times since we've last gotten together, Dr. Michael Davis and Quinn Flory, thanks to the technology of Zoom. Dr. Davis from the Lehigh Valley, Quinn's up near Sunbury, and I'm in Schuylkill County right now. So how are you guys doing?
Doing okay, all things considered.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, these are crazy times, and you, Quinn, actually were quite fortunate because you got a trip into Disney World just before they locked everything down, right?
Yeah, we actually, like, the first couple days we were there, it wasn't as bad. Like, no one started freaking out yet, and then towards the end of my trip on, like, Wednesday and Thursday, everybody started to get a little more rambunctious on social media and posting things, and my mom's friend was like, wait until you guys come home. It's like a totally other world. Like, we were kind of out of, like, I guess, everyday like life and stuff. Yeah. Like, we were kind of like in a whole other world almost. So we didn't really realize what was happening until we came home, and then we went to the grocery store, and there's no toilet paper or milk or like anything. Like, how are we going to get actual groceries? Because we were gone all week, and it was kind of scary.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so you were kind of isolated from that 24-hour news cycle, which is kind of nice in a way, but it was still stressful once you finally saw everything that was going on. But I'm glad
Disney closed on Saturday, and I left Friday.
Wow.
So I made it just in time.
Got out just under the wire, but you had a good time nonetheless?
Yeah, no, we had a great time. It was really fun. It was nice seeing my family. I don't really see that side of my family too often, so it was really nice.
So what's interesting now is for any of our Weather and Climate Chat listeners who are not familiar with what's going on at Kutztown University, Kutztown University is moving it entirely to remote learning for the rest of the semester. So that includes you, Quinn, who will be doing your internship now remotely. Yeah. Whether you're ready for it or not, I guess you're going to have to be, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate because this is my last semester here at KU, and I've cried a lot of tears over the past week because I had to say goodbye to people unexpectedly. Right. And I wish I would have known that my last classes 2 weeks ago were my last in-person classes.
Yeah.
And it's been really hard it almost seems like it's not real, but it is. And it's been really difficult for me and a lot of my friends, I'm sure for almost all KU students and even seniors. One of my friends made a really good analogy. It was like, it's like following a season from start to finish and not watching the season finale of your senior semester and missing out on that on purpose. So I thought that was a nice way to put it, I guess.
Yeah, that's a very good analogy, a sad analogy, but a very, very good analogy. But at least you're healthy, at least we're all healthy, and that's all that matters. And, we'll get through this, and, graduation might take a different look or feel in a month or so, but we'll see where that all goes.
I'm hoping that they still have it and don't cancel it. That would be really tragic.
Yeah. And also I should just put out there, just because we are a public service radio station, that if there's any listeners out there that have questions, confusion, whatever, we might not have all the answers, but if you feel better turning to us with a question or two, we'll be glad to try to answer them, or I'll direct you in the proper the proper way to try to get an answer. So we'll definitely do the best that we can. So, well, at least we know that this works, so we can keep our Weather and Climate Chat going, and you'll still be doing, hopefully, weather from up there in Sunbury as well for us too, right, Quinn?
Yeah, I can do, I'll do weather for Kutztown, but I can also look at weather for Northumberland. I have to set up my printer. It wasn't working to print out some of my things that I would color in, so I have to get that together. I don't know how that's going to work. I'll figure it out.
We'll work it out. And as you and I are talking back and forth, Quinn, I see Dr. Davis up there in the upper left-hand corner. He looks very studious. He's looking at something. Are you studying weather maps right now, or models?
Yep, I was looking at the upcoming storm system that could be impacting us on Monday, which we're going to get to.
We'll get to that. We might even have a little bit of the S word, believe it or not, which is wild, especially.
Which is crazy, because right now at my location, I got 72 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it's really warm here. Yeah, I actually had to open the house up.
I have actually, if my thermometer is correct and my phone is actually confirming this, that I have 77 degrees, which is quite possible since I have full sunshine right now. But here's the clincher right now. Looking at the dew point on my little machine over there, 64. I've not seen a dew point in the 60s in a long time, and the old common knowledge in meteorology is if your dew points get over 60, that's getting to be kind of sticky. So this is like the first day that I felt in 2020 that actually feels muggy. Would you say, Dr. Davis?
Yeah, I've usually gone with 65 myself for the dew point, but once you get up to like 60s for dew point, you could definitely start to feel the moisture in the air.
Right. So this is definitely a
little bit of trivia too. Anyone want to take a guess as to what the average high temperature is right now?
Without cheating, I would say probably average high.
At least for the Lehigh Valley area.
Okay, average high for Lehigh Valley, March 20th. This is going to be a really wild stab, but 51, 52, somewhere around there. Is that right?
Ben, do you got something?
I'll go a little lower. I'll say 47, 48.
Greg, you're right on, 51.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay, 51.
Nice.
Nice. All right.
Oh, I had to go a little lower because.
Well, you know what? And up where you are, Quinn, it might be upper 40s. Yeah.
I live up more in the mountains, so.
Right, right. Okay, so this is a good, if my thermometer is correct, this is a good 25 degrees.
25 degrees above average?
Above average, yeah, or at least 20 degrees above average, you know. But so that, pretty warm, sticky air mass, but we have some big changes coming. And, of course, now that everybody is living in different times with this pandemic going on, and they can't go to malls, they can't go to stores except for urgent things, people are now suddenly more interested in outdoor activities, which is good. But with that, you want to have some nice weather. And past couple of days have been dreary, except for now. It's cleared up pretty nicely here. Next couple of days behind this strong cold front that's coming through tonight looks pretty nice. National Weather Service going with partly sunny, mostly sunny actually, both tomorrow and Sunday.
More seasonable temperatures too.
Much more seasonable temperatures, and actually maybe even a little bit below normal. If our normal high is 51, you said, Dr. Davis, the National Weather Service for Kutztown tomorrow is going with 48 and Sunday 46. So we're going to go from 25 degrees above average to about 5 degrees below average over the coming 24 to 48 hours. Thanks to
another thing too that I just looked at was we're pretty much on par for precipitation for the year.
Okay.
So I don't know what that's worth.
No, well, that's good. I mean, that that we're not either too high or too low, so that's good. That at least something is normal in our world right now.
Yeah, we're running about half an inch below normal, but it's not too bad.
Now we're recording this on Friday, March 28th at about 5 o'clock, and our cold front is still yet to come through. There are some gusty storms. I'm looking at the radar on and it's going to be a little more difficult to do this now because we're not all in the same room. But I'm looking at my, I'll just share it to you with the camera here. You can see, it looks like some gusty thunderstorms up near Scranton right now.
Yeah, and that's pretty much where you're going to have, I don't think the cold front is coming through yet.
Yeah, I think
that's coming later. This is probably more of a prefrontal trough.
Right.
Where you have a leading edge, essentially, of the cold front that acts kind of like a miniature cold front lifting up
correct
air and triggering these storms.
Right. I'm looking at the hourly forecast that the Weather Channel does on their app, and they have temperatures dropping into the 60s around 8 o'clock, by about midnight, 50s. Okay, it looks like that cold air really starts to pour in like about 12, 1, 2 in the morning. By 3 in the morning, we'll be down into the 40s. And by 7 in the morning, in the upper 30s in Kutztown, the Weather Channel app is calling for. So it looks like that cold front really, that the cold air advection behind that cold front starts to really take over after about midnight tonight. Then around midnight is when you'll really start feeling the change in the air. And for you, Quinn, up there in Sunbury, probably a little earlier, maybe like 10 or 11 o'clock.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And then, like I said, big changes for tomorrow and Sunday. It's going to be nice looking, sunny, but it's going to be chilly, mid to upper 40s. And with a north wind tomorrow around 15 miles per hour, it'll feel even a little cooler. So don't know if you want to use the wind. I don't know if you want to use the term wind chill in 48 degrees with 15-mile-an-hour winds, but I guess you could. Maybe.
Yeah, but even at then, I don't think you're going to be dropping too much.
Right. But it will be chilly. So if you do go out for a hike or a walk or whatever people are doing nowadays to keep active, you might want to bundle up into a nice sweatshirt, I guess, tomorrow. And then all attention then turns, and this is kind of fun because we really haven't had anything much winter weather-wise to talk about, much really at all this winter. But we have a little bit of a storm coming Sunday night into Monday, which could, and we don't want to panic anybody here because there's already enough panic in the world. So this is not your snowstorm to big, stock up sort of thing, but everybody's already stocked up with everything. But we could see a little bit of rain and or snow changing to rain on Monday. Talk a little bit about that, Dr. Davis.
So it's mainly associated with the low pressure that's coming out of the Great Plains right now. And we did have a couple of tornado watches, I believe, in Oklahoma yesterday from this particular system. There was a winter storm warning in effect for western Nebraska, northeastern Colorado, and eastern Wyoming yesterday as well. So that's all associated with this low. It's pretty much coming up the Ohio-Tennessee River Valley. And you're going to get a lot of rainfall associated with it, especially to the south. But then when it comes to our particular area, it looks like mostly rain to me. I think the snow is going to stay further toward the north.
Yeah, I'm looking at...
based on the latest GFS model runs.
Yeah, I was looking at the latest GFS model. The NAM actually is colder. We'll get to that in a minute. The GFS model kind of shows, okay, this is like Sunday night around, if you can see my phone there, that's like Sunday night, like around 7 o'clock, so it's not here yet. And then this is Monday morning around 1 a.m. Shows a little bit of light snow, kind of like over the Kutztown, Sunbury, Pottsville area. This is Monday morning around 7 o'clock. You got some snow kind of on the line from Interstate 78 on north. Rain to the south, and then by about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday, it's pretty much all rain everywhere. Now, I am noticing, though, the NAM model, which tends to run a little bit colder in situations like this, but it might be onto something, I don't know. Has the precipitation coming in Monday, like 4 or 5 in the morning. Has snow over all of eastern Pennsylvania Monday morning, like around 7. Still snow, like around 10. And just finally starting to change to rain in our area around 1. So the NAM is running colder than the GFS. But even if that is correct, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Davis, this probably would not be a major sticking type snow. This is not going to stick on much other than grass and trees.
No.
Right.
And there's a lot that's working against this particular storm. One is this potential for mix of rain and snow. That seems to me like they can't really pick out what exactly is going to happen.
Right.
Precip, so that's going to mix in more liquid as opposed to frozen precip.
Right.
The other one is that we've had several days, including today, where we're well above average.
Yes.
So the energy is going to be going into the ground itself. So the ground will have some residual warmth associated with it. And then 3 is we just had the first day of astronomical spring.
Right.
Yesterday. And each day the sun's getting stronger and stronger. And when you're this late into March, doesn't bode well for these types of big snowstorms.
Right. One thing I am noticing on I'm just looking at the Climate Prediction Center now. 6 to 10 days still has us above normal, but and I've heard some of the weather geeks on social media talking about a little bit of a cool down, and I think the Climate Prediction Center kind of maybe would agree with that a little bit. The 8 to 14 day outlook, this is the first time I've seen our area not in the red. We're actually just in the gray. So that means finally just about average temperatures. So it looks like as we head into the end of March and early April, not as warm as we've been. But remember, at that time of year, average high temperatures are going to go up a little bit. But kind of just average temperatures around that time. So maybe we'll get a little break from this unseasonable warmth.
Yeah, going into early April, look at the GFS jet stream right now, and there's a fairly big trough across the Great Lakes.
I saw that,
down
yeah.
Mississippi. So that's probably where they're getting that information from, or at least their assumptions of 100 days. But you're looking 288 hours out. Right.
But yeah, so it looks like, and precipitation wise, let's see, 6 to 10 day has us above normal precipitation. So wet pattern continues, and 8 to 14 day kind of on the border of above normal to normal. So generally a pattern that leans toward at or above average, tapering to more of the average temperatures for the foreseeable future, with precipitation leaning a little on the above normal side. So, and looking if you look at the GFS beyond this storm on Monday, it looks like a fairly active pattern of some sort of precipitation every couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked that far ahead, but I can have a quick look at it now.
Yeah.
But I will say, too, if you recall, on March 1st, we had a very warm day.
Right.
And people were remarking about the adage with March is in like the lion, out like the lamb. And it came in like the lamb. So we'll see if it comes in. That's like, true.
Or it goes out like a lion.
Leaves like a lamb, or just want to leave out like a lion.
Right.
Yeah, I'm seeing what you're seeing.
Fairly.
After the Monday one, Tuesday looks tranquil, then Wednesday, get in our system. Thursday, another one that looks like it's heading further north, and Friday, we'll see what happens there.
Right.
I'm optimistic.
So fairly active pattern continuing. Okay. Topic-wise, I mean, so we've discussed the weather. Topic-wise, well, of course, everybody's mind has been pretty much on one thing for the past week or so, and we know what that is. We don't even have to say it. But we can kind of take a climate perspective from this, that it's kind of interesting with everybody around the world being on some sort of, quarantine, lockdown, told to stay home, whatever, that we're actually seeing some, as ironic as this sounds, some indirect benefits to the climate. I'm hearing stories of people in China not having smog and actually seeing nice blue, bright skies because there's less cars on the road. I'm seeing canals in Italy that normally have lots of pollution are like perfectly clear. So
the wildlife coming back with the dolphins.
And my wife was just talking about that. So it's kind of ironic that in really tough times like this, there's almost some indirect good, some kind of silver lining to all of this happening. Have you heard about that, Quinn?
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah. So, and I know that you said, Dr. Davis, that it's kind of a double-edged sword, because wasn't there a big climate conference or something that was canceled or postponed?
Yeah, we really can't get any real climate meetings going right now because of the virus going around. So while we are getting benefits of there being less in the way of emissions, we are failing on the policy side of it because we simply can't have the meetings in person. I mean, they probably do telecommunications like how we're doing today.
Right.
That can only go really so far.
Right. So we have to see where that goes, and we also, and I know you and I, Dr. Davis, talk a lot throughout the week, chatting back and forth on the messenger, and obviously we're taking this this whole pandemic extremely seriously, which is good, and I hope everybody continues to follow the warnings, but maybe it's almost like a little bit of a wake-up call about some, that we've got to take a lot of these type of environmental type things seriously, climate change being one of them, know that, that if once we get, oh, it's okay. Yeah, I see you got your,
I'll mute myself. He's going to keep our.
For anybody that's listening just to the audio of this, obviously we're radio, so you don't see audio. Quinn's dog is trying to jump in on this podcast in the background there.
I can go get Rosby and he could join in.
Yeah, sure. I could get one of my weather cats too if you wanted. But
Maybe another time.
yeah. But as I was saying, it's important to take all these things very seriously. The pandemic, climate change, because we only have one planet to live on, and we're all in on this together, and we've got to take care of each other. So
yeah, I do think that what we're seeing from this virus probably has some shades of what could potentially be in store for us if we don't do anything about climate change.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I talked about how potentially it could even be worse than this case. When your whole planet starts to fail on you, that's a really big problem.
Right.
And to me, too, going back a little bit to the emissions issue, there's a whole bunch of talk out there like, okay, we rose up to face this virus with a whole bunch of aggression, a whole bunch of vigor. Why can't we show the same thing when it comes to climate change? They're both crises. They both need to be addressed in the same aggressive manner.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, we're not addressing climate change as opposed to the virus.
Mm-hmm.
And they both pose very real and significant threats.
Absolutely. So, did you want to jump in on that, Quinn, or?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that we need to start taking these pandemics and these crises more seriously, because this is our future, and if we don't start doing this stuff, like, what's our future going to be like?
Mm-hmm.
I worry about that, because not only like with this pandemic, everyone's life has been put on hold. Mm-hmm. So who knows if there's smog in areas, it's more people's lives going to be put on hold. They're probably not going to be able to go outside because of that kind of stuff. And then we'll be living life indoors. I don't know. I haven't really thought too much about it, but yeah.
I think one of the biggest reasons we have this lack of aggression is because we can't really see it. I think humans are more attuned to what's directly in front of them, and right now the virus is staring at them in the face, even though there's another monster right behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a very good point. All right. Well, we'll try not to end on a too somber of a note, because everybody's somber enough. So I'll leave on a happier note. What are you going to be doing, Quinn, and what are you going to be doing, Dr. Davis, over the weekend? Are you going to get out try to get a walk in with the nice sunny weather, or what you got planned for the weekend?
Me, it's doing some work on the yard. Hopefully,
okay.
Trying to get my beds in order. I have a whole bunch of grass seed that needs to go down soon too.
Mm-hmm.
And probably do some housework. But I hope to get outside and enjoy it, because we need to get outside and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
The monotony of feeling the cabin fever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was joking with somebody that this is almost kind of like a with the run on toilet paper and milk and everything at the store. This is almost like a snowstorm that's like never come, and it continues on and on and on. So it's kind of like that same sort of feel.
Yeah.
What about you, Quinn? What do you have planned for the weekend?
Well, for the past week, since I didn't have my laptop, I was stuck. Well, not stuck. I enjoy doing puzzles, and for the past few Christmases, my grandmother has gotten me really nice, like, Disney-inspired puzzles that are like real life kind of, with like nature, but like the characters are like put in them. So I did about 9 of them, and I glued them all. They were about 500 pieces each, and so I've been doing that. And I've been taking care of my dog, who is surprisingly leaving me alone at the moment. He's normally all over, like, when anyone's on the phone with people. But yesterday I spent cleaning out my entire apartment and taking all my stuff home. So probably I will be organizing those boxes and doing laundry. I've been doing laundry all day. So
how did that move out?
Laundry.
How did that move out process go, Quinn?
Oh my God, it was absolutely crazy. The campus was packed full of people. Yeah, it was unreal. There was so many people, and just I had to bring a moving van, because not only did I have to bring stuff home with me, my boyfriend also came home with me and had to bring his stuff with us as well. So my uncle and him and I and my sister was packing. My grandmother was helping too yesterday. Oh, we baked a cake today though, so we'll be baking
nice.
as well. So
Good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, so that's one thing that we're all getting is a lot of extra family time now, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's nice seeing my dog, and
Yeah.
he missed me, and he likes it when I'm around.
I like the New Yorker cartoon the other day that said something to the effect of, okay, now we're going to see if we really like each other.
That's right. That's right. Sounds like
Yeah.
things are getting pretty active at your house there, Quinn. Is that like
Oh no, it's not my house. I think
That's my house.
Oh, that's your house. Oh, okay. That's your house. Okay. All right. Well,
my dog's just huffing. He's hot.
okay. All right. Yes. Haven't had to say that in a while that it's hot out, right?
Yeah.
So but before we go, so right now I've got, looks like it's actually starting to get cloudy out there now. So maybe that rain that you had up there a little while ago, Quinn, is ready to hit here.
Yeah, it's clearing up a little bit. It was still pretty cloudy. The clouds are moving really fast, though.
Okay.
In your direction, I think so.
All right.
You might be getting it next.
All right. And what about you, Dr. Davis? Is it sunny there or cloudy or what?
I got sun right now.
Sun? Okay.
Other clouds are starting to build.
All right.
Mhm.
Probably about, I'd say mostly cloudy to partly cloudy right now.
Mine's kind of overcast.
All right. All right. Well, I guess we will wrap up weather and climate chat for now. This has been fun. So let's try to do this at least once a week, or maybe even more than once a week, since we've all got some extra time on our hands. Well, maybe not.
I'm not going anywhere.
You're not
yeah,
going
not
anywhere.
either.
So we'll be in touch, and we'll try to record these and show people out there that KUR and our weather department and our Department of Geography are still quite active throughout these crazy times.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Good.
All right. This has been Weather and Climate Chat. I am Monsoon Mike. You are Dr. Michael Davis, and Quinn Flory, our intern. Thanks so much for joining me.